What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of We Need to Talk. This is year 2, episode 9. I should put the full number on here, just to, just to drag it out. It's to show the growth, Been doing this for a while now. Definitely appreciate all of my viewers. I appreciate everybody who's been tuning in on the replays. Definitely appreciate everybody who's been tuning in live as well. Thank you to everybody who has supported in any way, likes, comments, shares, anything like that, as well as my Patreon family as well. Everybody subscribe to the Patreon, all of my members. Thank you for your support, and I am definitely been working overtime to support you in return. Uploads every night. I'm definitely in a creative zone, working and doing my best to ensure that you get the support that you need, the strategies you need, and the energy that you need to be successful in my 4 P's. So psychology, partnerships, purpose, and physical health. So tonight, before I even get into the content and bring my guest on, I want to definitely say rest in power to DMX. Definitely been a just somebody influential in my life for several reasons. Definitely one of those artists that spoke from the heart, one of those artists who had deep personal pains, but allowed that to shine through his artistry, and mastered his craft and wasn't afraid to wear his heart on his sleeve, and had somebody who has been through a lot of things and was not afraid to do that, was not afraid to let you know about that, and was unapologetic about his particular journey. I believe he the way he spoke from the heart, he definitely is somebody who has helped a lot of people, even in his more troubled states. So definitely sending a big thank you out to him and his spirit, and hopefully we can all honor that, sending comforting energy to his family and loved ones as well as his fans. You feel connected when another human being can talk to certain areas that you may deal with, or that you may be struggling to maneuver through, especially as a young person. So shout out to DMX. Your spirit is not forgotten, and we're gonna keep the momentum moving for sure. Okay, Nashus, what's up? Let me see who's in here. Markel, what's going on? Tamika, how you doing? The child 38, what's up? I don't want to mess up anybody's name. Trina, what's going on? Shay, what's going on? What's up? Long time. Shonda, what's up? What's up? Dawn, what's up? What's going on? How we feeling? How we feeling? So, without further ado, tonight I'm gonna bring on my special guest. Derek, what's up, bro? Bringing on my special guest. Somebody that has definitely a good friend of mine. Somebody who has supported, definitely somebody who has, promoted some of the things that, I've been working on over this time. Definitely supported the journey. Somebody who is, definitely making headway, making strides. Somebody who is definitely a great spirit, a great soul. Somebody who is looking to do great things and to be good in society. Somebody who is following her purpose. Somebody who is steadfast and driven within that purpose, and continues to create personal milestones, but also has a relationship journey, as we all do. So definitely want to get to that as well. Maybe I can draw some parallels, maybe promote and provoke some self awareness, and just kind of see the patterns and the origins, and then where she is now, and allow her to kind of tell you what she's doing business wise. So hold on one second. Nancy, what's up? Courtney, what's going on? Latasha, what's going on? So I'm gonna bring you on now. Trina, hold on one second.
I
Hey,
hope it works.
we got. I'm saying, yeah, we got it this time. What's up?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, cool.
All
It
right,
worked.
good. So first, how are you feeling? It's good to have you on without the difficulties and everything like
Yep, I'm
that.
good. I'm good. I'm good.
That's
It's
good.
beautiful out. The weather's starting to change, so it changes the spirits, you know?
Say it again.
The weather's getting nicer out, so it changes the spirits. It's much better.
Yeah, yeah. It's something that we need right now, and just I hope it stays like this for a while. But it's
Yeah.
definitely influential, for sure. So, all right. So let's start current, and then I'll work my way back. So as of right now,
Uh-huh.
what do you do? Tell us what you do, what you're involved in.
So, I have a dog and cat pet food store that I bought 3.5 years ago. And once I bought that, I have a ton of animals myself, but once I bought that, I started rescuing animals. I rescued a little kitten and then I didn't stop. Um, I'm trying to expand my business now. I might have a partner coming on, so that's very excited.
Okay,
I'm more on the ground, and she's more like the marketing aspect, like anything I need done, which I didn't have the head for, she does. So hopefully that pans out because I couldn't do it myself.
and
And
so
that's it.
she created the virtual flyer, right? Is this the
Yeah,
okay, same
like
person?
poof,
Huh?
poof. I just told her I'm doing a live with this guy Marcus. It's like she just spit it out 2 seconds later. I'm like, how'd you do that?
Hey, that was dope. Cause she had the
I added
music.
the music though. It's Friday night. I added it. I love that song.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. I never heard that song, but I was like, I like that. I like that. It's fire.
Oh my God, yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
that's where I'm at. So now I'm not doing as much rescue, but I do intervene when I have to. Like someone brought me a pregnant cat before. I don't want to leave them in a bad situation, but I'm trying to really focus on expanding the business now.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And so that's current. Now let's go back to your origins, right? Now in the beginning, as just a young girl, right? What were you drawn to as a kid?
Oh, I was always singing. I
Okay.
love to sing. I
Right.
would ask my mom to bring me to gospel churches.
Hmm.
So music, nature, fishing, gardening, cutting grass, like anything. I'm an outside, handsy type of person.
Got you.
Yeah.
And as we'll talk, people will find out that music has found its way in your journey as well,
Yeah, it did.
over time. So okay, so like outside, like animals, nature, singing and hearing music, you know, um, how would you say your your upbringing was, if you could kind of speak to it?
I mean, there's nothing to complain about. I had a really good upbringing. I was never missing anything. Pretty healthy, balanced family. One side is always more kooky than the other, which is normal. We
Right.
always have one side that's off. But really, I have to say, I have nothing to complain about it. However, imagine that we still grow up with boo-boos, right? Which one of my songs, which I wrote an album, ended up being called If I Have It All. What am I searching for?
Hmm. Hmm.
Right? Because
Yeah.
I was young when I wrote it, but I was kind of trying like, but what's my problem? How
Yeah.
can I have a problem? It's impossible. I had no abuse, nothing major, but just goes to show we each have our issues, right?
Yeah. So in retrospect, what would you say was missing? Like, I know back then you were trying to figure it out, but like if you're looking back now, what would you say it was? Can you pinpoint it?
I think it was my father's validation.
Okay.
I believe it was that. Now older, I'm 100% sure it was that. He wasn't a very vocal man, and even the way he would express it would would kind of come out the wrong way, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, validation in because okay, let me ask you this then. The things that you would do, mind you, like you mentioned, things that you were drawn to. You were drawn to certain things, right? Now,
Yeah.
if you're drawn to it, you're gonna, participate in it and things like that. Like, how did he respond to your victories or your decisions or anything like that? Like, what was the reaction, or was there really not much reaction at all?
There wasn't much reaction, but we used to, let's say, do the garden together or cut the grass together, or there wasn't much reaction.
Okay.
There wasn't much reaction. My Alvin, forget it. He was the proudest father ever.
Mm,
My daughter
okay.
did amazing. She did this, she did. He's really excited. He used to love the fact that I used to sing. He used to love it.
Hmm. What do you think made that different than everything else?
Good question. I'm assuming because it came wholly and authentically from me. Like I did something he couldn't do.
Okay.
I just thought, no, yeah, it could be that. That's what made him so impressed, right? He couldn't sing.
Well, because and I hope I'm good to kind of say this, but you were kind of like a son. He kind of visualized you like kind of like a son, right?
Yeah, the boy. Uh-huh. Out of three
Right,
girls, yeah.
right. So I think that you
He
know,
raised us all like boys, though. Like me and my sisters were all equally very self-sufficient. But yeah, I was more the fisher and the go hunting with him and stuff like that. Yeah.
right. And I'll say this just from a male perspective, even the manliest man is disarmed by a woman with a voice. You know what I'm saying? A woman who can sing. It's almost
The
there's
way you
something to it.
explain that, there you go with your words again. He's disarmed. That's such a beautifully well put.
No, I'm. That's what I'm. Thank you, and that's what I mean. I think that even the more the more macho or the more masculine oriented men
Yeah.
on that side of the spectrum. That's a very that you got to put all the gloves and bats and knives down. When you hear a woman who can really sing, you know what I'm saying. So I think that to me that as I'm trying to analyze it, I'm kind of figuring that that's probably what it was. It was something that was powerful that he was
Yeah.
able to see come from you, and I think initially, especially if he viewed you as a boy anyway, um, he would want to see something powerful from you, and that's
Yeah.
and vocals are a powerful thing,
His favorite song that he used to make me want to sing all the time was the Vanessa Williams song, Colors of the Wind. I
oh
don't know if you
yeah,
ever watched.
Vanessa
Yeah.
Williams, man, yeah.
He'd be like, sing the Pocahontas song. Because
Right.
as kids, we were watching that movie. So you
uh,
tell me, sing Pocahontas. Like, Pa, it's not Pocahontas. It's just, I actually, at his funeral, when everybody was eating, that period in between,
yeah.
like that people come visit, I snuck back in by myself and I sang it to him.
Oh, you did, yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's
I
dope.
had
That's
to.
dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. I like that. I like that. Did you sing there? Was there a point for you to be able to sing with everybody there, or?
No, I did it alone. I just did it alone to him. But no, I didn't think of that. That could have been a good idea, yeah.
Yeah. That would have been good, but you got it done anyway, so that's the
Yeah,
main
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
So, uh,
Yes.
take us through your first dating experiences. So let's get into the dating
Oh boy.
timeline of things, right? Because now we've established your skill set, we've established
Yeah.
what you're drawn to, right? I'm sure, or I would assume in school, maybe did you stay away from your passions? Did you kind of line up a different way, or?
So, college, I didn't like school. I wasn't very good in school. I get easily distracted, and I had glasses, like I was a whole big dork. And so basically, college, I literally just took courses of painting. I took communication, so that involved painting, drawing, simple stuff,
Mhm.
just to get through it. That's it. I
Okay.
didn't really. I failed the first year of college because my grandfather passed, and I was in social studies, and then I just did the fun stuff and got my deck. And no, I didn't. It was in 2000, and I started writing, and I published my album in 2009.
Okay.
So yeah, it took me some time after college. My dad basically told he had buildings where he would rent, and there was a studio, and he basically told him keep her out of trouble, just like make an album or something. At first, he's like, "Who do I need to pay, Bella? Who do I have to pay to make you famous?" I'm like, "Dad, it doesn't work like that."
Mhm. Right.
So yeah, so school, I didn't know. I didn't do much.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So that's perfect. So you school was more so let me get through this, and then you actually on the tail end, a few years after, were able to tap back into what you were already passionate about in the first place.
Yeah.
So during this time frame, when was there any dating experiences, especially after digging into the music? Because again, you took it far. You weren't playing around with it. Like I heard the album, and you know what I'm
Did
saying.
you did you manage to find a CD player?
Yeah, I had, yeah. I did.
So yeah, a few of the songs there was about, of course, of my first love from high school, and then there was another guy I dated for about 4 or 5 years till like 2009, 10. Um, so yeah, there was a bit of dating. Then after that, I was pretty much single for a little while,
Yeah.
nothing crazy. And then up until the last 8 years, so I was with one guy for about four, and the one before that about 4 or 5 years. So dating to me right now is foreign. Like it's almost a decade I haven't dated. So I don't know what's out there.
Wait, so between your last breakup and now has been almost a decade?
No, what I'm saying, I've dated two people in the last 8 years.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay.
That's
So
it.
the decade was full of monogamy, is what you're saying,
Pretty
and not
much.
and not dating. I see, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So now let's do this. Let's take the most significant, which I'm sure the last two,
Yeah.
yeah, and then the earlier ones, first love and things like that. You can bring those into the mix as well.
Hmm.
If we're starting from the beginning, and you saw one of the lives I did before. You don't even have to show your face. So you can definitely change the names. If you want to change the names, you can make up names, whatever you want to do. Just so we have reference points instead of just number one, number three. That kind of might throw things off. So, um, starting with the first one and kind of moving forward, what were the themes of these relationships? Like, maybe the reasons that they worked, the reason they didn't, or just the thing that was central, that or impactful to you.
So the reoccurring theme is that, again, the validation I think came too. So
Okay.
wanting to be validated, right? So much you tend to overcompensate or overdo, right? So
Yeah.
the energy is always unbalanced somewhat. Not so much the most recent one, but more the one before.
So
Because
proving your worth, kind of.
I subconsciously I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, subconsciously, like my value. Like this is so as a person, I'm extremely you don't step on my toes. I'm very in your face. But I'm a bit more tolerant when it comes to dating sometimes. I'm a bit more, I understand, I try to understand where they come from, but sometimes it's too much.
Hmm. So, how was the search for validation your downfall early on? What kind of stuff would you do?
As a kid, or you mean the dating?
The date, no, the dating part. Like when you first started dating on forward. Like
Uh,
we'll start with the first.
tolerating things that I didn't deserve,
Okay, okay.
being too understanding because these people or person was in a somewhat place or whatever, and I always wanted to help,
Hmm.
and fix because I was always a bit more conscious. But in the end, you can't, you're going to burn yourself out. You can't do that.
Yeah.
They need to realize what's going on.
So the first one, who broke it off?
Oh, I did.
Okay, what was your? He just got tired of what was happening.
He was extremely insecure, but to a point where it was too much.
Mm-hmm.
Possessive. I was walking on eggshells to the point where, he would think there was an issue between me and my shrink. Like,
Oh, like you were talking to him or something?
well, because he wanted to consult this specific person as well. And he said that the psychologist said, listen, it's kind of a conflict of interest. I can't see both. So he goes, just relay that message because I can't even disclose that you're my patient. So I give him the message and he freaks out like, well, why can't he tell me? Oh, is it because you have a thing with your... And that's when I said, nah. That's when I ended it. I said, no, this is too much. And the week before he was practically suicidal. It
Mm-hmm.
was intense. It was intense, but I had to walk away. So what I did is I let the people close to him know what happened the week before and that I no longer could be there for him. And I can't be responsible even if he would have done it. I know it sounds heartless, but the amount that I tolerated, I couldn't. I had to. But no, when you start thinking there's something between you and the psychologist,
Right, but what I will say is this. Now, in looking at this specific relationship, not even moving forward, and just based on what you said so far,
yeah,
right? Um, what I see is you getting exactly what you asked for, but way too much of it, right? So being in balance, if you're in a search for validation, that means you don't have it. So you are, when you're balanced, I guess all things are already covered. But
yeah,
in your particular situation, let's look at validation as just a principle, right? It's something that if somebody doesn't efficiently validate you, then
yeah,
there's a perceived distance from how they feel and expressing and where you actually are. So there's a separate, there's a feeling of distance and lack of intimacy, right?
yeah.
So if that becomes a void in your relationship, you're like, I need intimacy, I need closeness, I need somebody there, I need somebody expressive. And you saw that you had that, but that came along with
Full force.
possessiveness and jealousy and insecurity, right? So
Yeah,
you got it, but with a cost, and that's what happens anytime there's an imbalance, or we search with voids. When we have voids and then we date, we get the void filled, but
yeah.
it's
But
it's,
in a
it's almost like
distortion.
there's a hole in my chest, so let me put a grenade in there. It's
Yeah.
covered. It's covered, but things are gonna get crazy in a second. There's only a matter of time before they go off the rails, right?
You know what
So,
was funny about the first one? Well, the first few years, like we're always like on, off, up and down. He would date, or I think I did, but the whole thing was about 4 or 5 years, and I wanted so badly for him to be my boyfriend and all that thing, and I literally said to myself, "What?" And it's the second time. That was the first time. It happened even the second time, where I said to myself, "Be careful what you wished for." Now that I got it, I'm like, "Damn." Same thing with the second one.
okay, okay.
I managed to get, how I somewhat wanted it, and I'm like, you want, but be careful what you want because you're gonna get it.
Yeah, yeah, and then the interesting part becomes now that when we receive what we say we wanted, because of the toxic nature of it, we kind of conflate the two. We feel like, okay, is this what validation? I'm looking for validation. Is that what it looks like every time? You start to feel
Mhm.
like everywhere I go now, as long as I'm searching for this, I can't find it without strings attached or without multiple side effects. It's like those pills that help depression, but a symptom or a side effect of the pill is
A
suicidal
hundred side
thoughts.
effects. Yeah, yeah,
How does that make sense? You see what I'm saying? So then you feel like, okay, well, it's a catch 22 now. So then you start to shift, but it keeps you in an imbalanced state. Even if you think
yeah,
you got somebody different the next time around, it's just different issues with the same underlying element because we never solved the actual thing that was that was the void to begin with.
yeah.
So the next relationship you left to.
Um, I think the few times that we stopped speaking, it was me, but the last time it was more, I think, of
Okay.
a mutual thing because it just, well, you know, the issues, right? They're just heavy, deep ones that I can't fix, and neither could he. It's gonna take, that's all on him, right? So you just can't fix that. I got tired of different mentalities,
Yeah.
and I just, right now, I will not accept anything but a conscious, self-aware. I don't even see myself with someone not where I'm at. Impossible.
Right. Right. For sure. For sure. I hear that.
Yeah, it was too
And,
heavy.
and we're gonna get to that too in a minute because you've done a lot, after your last situation to improve yourself. So with the last two,
Hmm.
what do you think was the theme there, or just in your own words,
I think it was the self-value thing,
self
right?
value?
Yeah, like my value,
Okay.
right? That searching for the approval, or maybe not getting it. But see, it's because the last one is very different.
Yeah.
I My mind changed after my dad passed.
Hmm.
I became a lot more, I'm not scared to lose you. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Where so I can't really, I had it like, yes, I put up with stuff, but I was a lot more sure about who I was. And what I always felt is I lost, my biggest fear happened. I lost my father
Right. So it
prematurely.
trumped in value anybody else under that. Any breaking up of a relationship was less than that, less painful than
Oh
that.
yeah, I don't think anything, no man could break my heart anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. I think I love in a healthy way now. I even associate being in love as like kind of, you got to be careful with the in thing. It almost sounds like obsessive, right? So I like, maybe he took my love. I'm very expressive of it, how much I love and how much I give. But don't confuse it with me being weak and that I'll die without you, because clearly I will not. I will be more than fine. So I think loving in that way is very healthy. With when if you're able to detach, your life shouldn't end if the relationship ends. Like
Right.
it's just a no. Versus before, with the first guy, it was more like I'd be, a bit out of it a few days, and like, it's really, and this time, no.
Okay. And then what was their energy like? Like what did they particularly give off, or what were some of their behavior patterns or the ways that they interacted with you?
The second one?
Or the last two. I guess you can do the last one if you want.
What do you mean how they interact? They were both kind of so emotionally absent, both, but I'd have to say the last one really showed me reliability,
Hmm.
consistency, dependability, um, just being very present, because the one before him was not reliable at all, like still to this day, not reliable. Um, just general, and you know what? He was also, and I think that's what made it hard, is that he was also a best friend. And he was older than me. The other guys were all younger.
Hmm.
So he was 4 or 5 years older than me. So it was the first guy that I dated kind of that was older and that was like a best friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was so easy to be a woman around him. The guy did not care. Like it was just easy.
Hmm.
So, and he opened my eyes to so many things about his culture, about history. Um, I, I would actually do it all over again because it brought me so much, you know?
Yeah.
There's no regret there. But what's done is done. Like, it's cool.
Right, right. No, that makes sense, and I think something interesting about that is what I wanted to mention before is almost the pinball effect that can happen, where
Hmm.
okay, I hop this one unreliable, okay, but this one's reliable, and this one has this, or this one doesn't have. So it's kind of like you go from one extreme. This is well, we all do this, but you go
Right,
from one extreme to the next, looking for the one thing that was the void. Like you're trying to fill the void in different ways. You go over here, you get stung. Ah, okay, what was his problem? Okay, drank too much. Next guy, okay, you don't drink at all. Great, let's go with that. And then that
right.
has another side effect. So then you're like, okay, damn, it's two extremes. I got to go this way. I got to go that way.
But we do it
You know?
subconsciously because
Yeah.
what I didn't realize that I went from psycho-possessive to psycho-unpossessive. I
Emotional
went to
distance
complete,
and then emotional breach of encroachment or emotional.
yeah, like complete, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I didn't even notice. To me, it was such a breath of fresh air. It literally felt like he brought me back to life, you know, because he's like, breathe, it's okay, like be you, because he wasn't jealous. So I was like, huh, you
Yeah.
know. So it was,
Right.
yeah, complete opposite. It was crazy. And
Right.
reliable, you're right. They did have, but both the emotional thing and both a bit of substance abuse, I'd say.
Right. But it's part of the experience until we get to a point where we say it's not them that I should be looking for that element. Like that element that you were looking for was not to be found externally. So this cycle would essentially continue into perpetuity until you start to figure out, okay, I need to work on me, and this void
Yeah.
needs to get filled, by me. So
But
tell
I'm
me about,
curious.
huh?
I'm curious. So in these 8 years, I've changed drastically. So I'm curious who this new me is gonna attract.
Right,
And
right.
at the same time, I do have a scarcity mindset. Because
What's
the
like,
men, like I've explained to you before, and I
yeah,
know there's no copies of me either.
right,
Where are they? Well, not in Montreal at least.
right, 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 right. And I think you should maybe just expound on that a little bit. Like, what are some of the things that you have done to grow yourself from who you were maybe day one after your last breakup up until now to
Right.
sort of make some changes or find some awareness. What kind of things did you involve yourself in?
What do I feel I did?
Huh?
Did you ask me a question there?
Yeah, yeah. I said, what did you involve yourself in that self-help journey after the last relationship? Like, what are some of the things that you did?
You know what it is? I've always been on it, but I just got uh encompassed with the energy. Everything got muffled. So it took up a lot of my headspace. It took up a lot of my time. And then the minute it wasn't there anymore, I was like, whoa,
Mm.
I can really focus on my homeopathy class. I could focus on this. I could do that with no criticism, without the, comments. And I just jumped right back into it. It just felt really good.
And isn't that interesting, right? Now let's look at this. I think the common one thing we don't realize just in our relationship journey or dating journey, right, is that how our uh, our self help and self care and how these things are affected by relationships that are not what we're looking for or where we want to be or are not comprised of everything that we need.
Yeah.
Because the most healthy relationship wouldn't interrupt the self-help journey. If we're really thinking about it, right? With the right person matched, with
Mm-hmm.
your evolution and your growth
Yes.
and tied to that,
It
that
makes me
would
excited to think it exists. I'm like,
that
oh my God,
that wouldn't
that
be
would be so
interrupted.
easy.
There wouldn't be something that is like, well, let me well, damn, and then almost in like a coma fashion, where you just wake up after the relationship, like, damn, oh yeah, well, wasn't I like exercising 2, 3 years ago? Wasn't I like, I was
Yeah,
doing therapy and all that? Damn, and then you don't
yeah,
realize it because you're caught up again, in a relentless pursuit of filling of certain voids, and
yeah,
it's not tangible, which is why most people don't realize it. They just think it's like the universe playing tricks. It's like, no matter which type I think I'm changing into or looking for
yeah,
differently, I
yeah.
keep switching the game up, and I keep ending up with the same results. So
Well, I find a lot of people are always pointing their finger at the exterior or at the other person. So I could complain all I want about either of the last two,
yeah,
but I attracted them for a reason.
yeah,
And I do that a lot. I look at, okay, so what's in me that I'm, what's going on? Why did I still attract that? Or why did I? But now I really feel like I'm going to attract something different. I have to, because just the thought of, honestly, even hearing you speak, I was like, oh, okay, a man like that exists. So there might be some more other places. And I was thinking, imagine having somebody on the same wavelength as me. That would be like, I've never experienced that before in my life. So I'm like excited, but I just gotta find it.
yeah, and you should be, because again, if you have it, it exists, and the capability, at least now is are these things we're talking on here, the things you hear me talk about every night, the masses don't do, or maybe aren't aware of, or maybe whatever, but the capacity is always there. That's the thing about it. So by virtue of you being able to return to your natural pattern of helping yourself and having the
Yeah,
awareness, and doing these different things, and staying focused on yourself, it's an exciting process. And like you mentioned, it breeds excitement to connect with somebody who that resonates with. Not that is something that you should chill out on, or why you always like a point of contention. You see what I'm
I
saying?
got I gotta tell you a funny story.
uh,
So a friend of mine kept telling me, go on Tinder, go on Tinder. I've never been on any dating sites. So I'm like, what for? No, there's weirdos on there. So I went on, I put a fake picture. But, a girl that I think is to my level of attractiveness, I don't know. But then there was actually a guy I found attractive. So I'm like, shit, do I swipe right? But if I swipe right, he's gonna think I'm a weirdo. That is, how am I gonna explain myself? So
it's
I
called
laughed.
catfish, the word you're looking for.
I didn't even know what that was, but check this. So I swipe right, and I'm trying to explain to him, like, yeah, but follow me on Instagram because on here, like, and the more I was explaining myself, what I did and why I did that, he unmatched me. And then I just got off the app. I'm like, you know what? I put my own, I matched with a bunch. I'm like, you know what? It's not for me. And I realized I don't have the time.
Hmm.
I don't have the time. I'm so focused. Well, maybe it's because nothing interested me, right? I'm a lot more selective with who I give my time to and because what I'm doing is so much more important. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I did that. I guess I catfished somebody and I didn't even know.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't
Yeah.
look like your picture on Instagram. Like, yeah, but it didn't work. Doesn't matter.
Y'all putting y'all I don't, what y'all doing over there?
Oh my God, it was funny.
Y'all putting food coloring
Yeah,
in
but then someone catfished me.
huh?
Someone catfished me because I'm like, well, that doesn't look like you. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, on the same thing? On the Tinder? On the
Someone
same
else.
Tinder.
I didn't know that people, what's the point in putting something really attractive and then you don't look like that? So what, they hope to win your heart over and then,
It's a and I, and that's a crazy game. That's a crazy game. Like, to because you got to start off on the defense. Like when you like if a first date were to ever happen, you're automatically on the stand. Like you
You
got to explain
automatically
yourself. Like,
look
all right,
shady.
hold up, let me. Okay, look, right. You got what happened. I was look right because listen. All right, listen. What remember? Okay, wait. And then
Yeah, exactly.
you got to do
They're
all of
sure the
that.
guy's like married or in a relationship or something messed up. Like, why else would you fake?
I want to see it work though. I would like to see, and not no scripted, catfish show thing. Like I would like to hear of a story where somebody got that off, where somebody was like, hold up. Here's what I want to see, right? Just certain things that I just want to see. Two people who are using different pictures and catfish each other and still are with it after. Like after they see who they actually look like and are still with it because the looks don't matter or maybe I don't know. I want to see that happen. I actually want to see that happen.
I
And
was hoping the guy was gonna understand my explanation, but maybe he found the picture of the girl I put prettier. I don't know, or he thought I was shady.
we'll never know. But the fact that you come in explain like as soon as you match, it's like,
Yeah, of
hey,
course.
it's like a disclaimer. It's like, you go buy a soda and then the guy at the cashier is like, this isn't real soda, just so you know. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I wanted to be honest. I didn't want to,
Coconut milk. But
but
go ahead, you can buy it anyway. It's
but
still
there
good.
was no. Yeah, it looked. The more I was talking, the more I looked terrible. I just looked awful.
But like you said, you're not in the dating like
No, I was like, but I said this is why I've never gone on a dating thing because, and no, just no, no, not for me.
it's baby steps. But the first I guess lesson or principle would be like use your own picture. I think we should probably like start at that point. If we're in the beginner like remedial dating, it's like
I was just
definitely
curious what was on there because I
yeah.
heard weirdos, and there are. So that's why I just wanted to see. But then there's actually one that was attractive, and I'm like, shit, I can't, but let me try. So yeah,
Yeah. No, no,
yeah,
yeah. There's definitely weirdos, like the ones who use other people's pictures. Okay,
yeah.
so definitely enjoyed you coming on. And I want to first say where can people support? Where can people find you? What would you have people to do as you're expanding and leveling up in Canada?
Well, follow my page, my store page, Nutriville, and if you have any Canadian friends that live in my area, send them my way. I'm also looking for a dog groomer.
You said looking for what?
A groomer.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't know if anybody's gonna be on here, but yeah, I'm looking for a dog groomer if anybody knows. But yeah, and I'm moving. I'm looking to expand to a bigger location. There's just a lot of stuff coming up that you don't want to talk about stuff till it's kind of in place. But yeah, just follow my store, Nutriville.
Got you. Okay, yeah, no,
Yeah,
and I'm big in Canada. You know what I'm saying?
you
I
are.
got love. I got love.
Aren't you supposed to be coming to Montreal?
I'm gonna be up when the time is right. I'll be up there
Okay.
when the time. And when y'all get some of them damn restrictions
I know.
together over there, because
I know.
I'm not gonna go to prison voluntarily. So let's handle that.
Right. Okay.
But
I know.
yeah, okay. So I'll tag your pace to this
Yeah.
once I
Yeah.
post things like that. But that definitely sending you just continued success in your journey as far as business and your journey as far as your personal life, your growth, your continued just internal
Yeah.
success as well. Because I do know you to know that you have learned a lot of things from
Hmm.
your previous relationships, and
Yeah.
you're not afraid of self-awareness and accountability, and
Yeah.
those are
100%.
major steps in the process.
Hmm.
And I'm definitely excited for you and everything to come. I almost said buy the album, like you know what I mean, because
Well, music might come back eventually. I'm definitely not done with music, that's for sure. Buy the album. You can just
Right.
Google Trina L, E-L-L-E. You'll find some old, yeah, some old shit.
Some throwback stuff, for sure, for sure. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, definitely don't put that down. I think, right now, just even this conversation showed multiple turning points in your life
yeah,
specifically, and this is a particularly high point for you. And I think the lowest and the highest points deserve adequate expression. And you being somebody,
right.
very, very, great at your craft as far as writing and singing, it should be coming soon. I know it's already in there, so it's just
It
a matter.
will, it will.
Yeah,
When the store is more, you know, I think I'll have more time when it's more settled and adjusted, and I'll have more time, and I'm gonna do it.
for sure, for sure. Keep us posted. Keep me posted as well.
Maybe we'll do, a collabo.
That would be some fire. I'm
Yeah,
trying. If y'all want me to get back in the studio, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to sample. Okay, I ain't gonna do all that on here. I'm on it. I'm on it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk.
For sure, for sure. But thank you for coming through. Thank you for putting your experiences up, for people to learn from, for
Yeah,
people
for sure.
to understand. And I'll be talking with you soon. We'll be
Yeah, you will.
all right, y'all have a good night, and I will see you guys
Bye.
tomorrow. Click the link in my bio, and I'll see y'all tomorrow night.